Good day to all. This particular video, we will look into the details of enzymes. Now, all enzymes are proteins, but there are some exceptions. So that is why we say that almost all enzymes are proteins, but what will be the exception over here? There are some enzymes by the name of ribozymes. So ribozymes are actually nucleic acid RNA which will function as enzyme, and we will call it ribozyme. So ribozyme will be an example of enzyme which is not protein. It will be nucleic acid which will be functioning as enzyme. Talking about the structure of enzymes, then enzymes have tertiary structure. Tertiary structure was responsible for the biological activity of enzymes. There were crevices or pockets that were formed, and one such crevice or pocket is active site, and without active site enzyme cannot function. So active site is essential for any enzyme to function. So we can summarize by the statement that crevice or pocket in enzyme into which substrate fits, that particular site can be called as active site. Now, initially we had said that most enzymes will be proteins, but many times it is the combination of protein with non-protein part that makes the enzyme active. Now, looking into this particular equation, the protein part of enzyme is called as apoenzyme. If non-protein part is present in the enzyme, then non-protein part is called as cofactor, and the combination of apoenzyme and cofactor, it is called as holoenzyme. There will be no catalytic activity if we remove this particular cofactor from this holoenzyme. Now these cofactors, these can be of two types, organic and inorganic. Organic cofactors can be of two types, prosthetic group and coenzyme. In inorganic example, we just have metal ions. The difference between prosthetic group and coenzyme lies in the fact that prosthetic group is very tightly linked with the apoenzyme. Whether reaction, catalysis is occurring or not occurring, this prosthetic group will always be joined to the apoenzyme. But the case is not similar if we talk about coenzymes. In the case of coenzymes, whenever catalysis, whenever the reaction occurs, at that particular moment, this coenzyme will be joined to apoenzyme, otherwise it will be present as separate entity. So in this, permanent association will be there, but here it will be just transient association at the time of catalysis. Looking into the example, heme is an example of prosthetic group, this heme, and this heme prosthetic group is present in the enzymes peroxidases and catalysis. Peroxidases are the enzymes which break hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen. Looking into the coenzymes, the example of coenzyme is NAD, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It can also be NADP, in which phosphate will be added to NAD. One more important point about coenzymes is that vitamins are essential components of coenzymes. So vitamin will form a part of coenzymes, and if we look into the coenzyme NAD and NADP that we were talking about, then niacin vitamin forms an essential component of this particular coenzyme. Moving to second example, that is the metal ions. Now, metal ions form coordination bonds, and the example is zinc ion, and it will be present in the case of carboxypeptidase enzyme. After this, we move to the comparison of enzyme catalysts and inorganic catalyst. Inorganic catalyst that we talk about in chemistry, these work is very high temperature and high pressure, but enzymes cannot work in high temperature. Most of the enzymes are not active above 40 degrees Celsius. The enzymes will be damaged or denatured above 40 degrees Celsius. Now, exception of enzymes which can work in high temperature, we get these enzymes from thermophilic organisms. These are the organisms which are found in hot vents. These are found in sulfur springs. So they retain their catalytic power even at high temperatures up to 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. And what's one such enzyme is used in polymerase chain reaction that we call as Taq polymerase. The second, we talk about a very important enzyme which is one of the fastest enzyme, and the name is carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Carbonic anhydrase catalyzes the reaction of CO2 and water in both directions to form H2CO3, that is carbonic acid. Now, without carbonic anhydrase enzyme, just 200 molecules of H2CO3 are formed per hour. But with carbonic anhydrase, when this enzyme is present, then it will result into the formation of 6 lakh molecules per second. So units need to be seen here. Here we are talking about 200 molecules in 1 hour. But here the reaction is accelerated. So in 1 second there will be 6 lakh molecules which will be formed. If we see how fast the reaction has been accelerated, then the enzyme accelerates the reaction by 10 million times.